Um, a little disclaimer before I start. During the past 2 years, I've got into this annoying habit of pretending to have a bad internet connection whenever I forget to say something, so please bear with me. That was a joke for legal reasons. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Aibowan, Vanakkam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is a great pleasure. It's delightful to speak to you finally, physically, and also to speak a few words in the presence of such an esteemed audience. Something Prashant used to say that struck me was the fact that ever since independence, ever since 1948, every 15 years, there has been some sort of communal violence. And I believe this recurring cycle has deteriorated our country to a great extent and is obviously responsible for the state of our country today. Because take the past few decades itself. We've had the 30-year-long civil war. We've had the JVP insurrections. We've had the Black July. And during each of these instances, during each of these moments of conflict, we've had a large portion of the youth killed. People who would have been in the forefront of leading our country today, massacred. I believe that is that is one of the greatest reasons as to why we are here today. And these are things that we don't learn at school. Because these past mistakes we have to learn from, we don't learn these at school. Even in the A-level political science syllabus, there is no mention at all to Black July or the JVP insurrections. And this is where I believe the Centenary movement, movements like the Centenary movement, play a huge, important role in equipping us with the necessary knowledge to take well-informed decisions and to take the next step to building our country. To future policymakers, to activists, future leaders, the Centenary movement has given us a holistic knowledge on various subjects ranging from economics, agriculture, diversity and inclusivity, governance, and this, I believe, has been a great boost for us, for all of us present here today, in taking our next few steps. Now, usually, especially these few days, whenever people mention, whenever we talk about the country and that sort of thing, what comes to mind is sort of negative things, right? We talk about the debt situation, the corrupt politicians that are ruining this country. But something that comes to mind, something that I think we should all remember, is what it means to be Sri Lankan. What is the essence of being Sri Lankan? And this I sort of learned through a small incident that me and my father, who is also here today and who I'm extremely grateful for, that we came across during the beginning of the whole COVID lockdown. So in 2020, when the whole lockdown first began, so me and my father, we were going to town to get some groceries, and this was the point where, the supermarkets had mile-long queues and all the grocery stores were flocked with people. And during this time, we were walking along the Katugastata road, and there was this lorry that came by, and a man and his little daughter, they stepped out, and suddenly there was a few people who were rushing towards them. And so me and my father were wondering what it was. And we also decided to go there, and what we saw was they had put up a board saying "Nomile" for free, a handwritten sign. And what this gentleman was doing was that he was giving away his harvest of jackfruit for free. And this really surprised me, because this was a time when so many corporations itself were exploiting the circumstances that we were subjected to make huge profits. And then there was this man, this simple man, who was giving away his entire harvest for free. And this, for me, is the essence of being Sri Lankan. And I believe most of us here today have seen this in some form. And that is why we are here today. That is why we fell more in love with our country. I have to thank the team, the Centenary movement, and everyone who have tirelessly worked towards bringing us, during the last year, for bringing us the online lectures. And thank you so much, Prashant and team and everyone involved. And I'm greatly looking forward to meeting all of you at our residential training session and building stronger bonds and working towards a better Sri Lanka. Thank you so much. Have a pleasant day.